I am passionate about this particular type of extraction because when the molecular structure of the cannabinoid plant or the cannabis plant is extracted intact, that means it's pulled from itself at a certain temperature, it really does delete cancer. And between 2005 and 2007, I had 9 family members die of cancer. And I did not know what to do. All of my knowledge as an herbalist, all of my time as a practitioner, all of my experience with cannabis was not touching the problem. And then I came across a man named Rick Simpson and a woman named Janet Sweeney, and they took my knowledge level to another level through the extraction process. And I had one particular client whose name was Lisa, who had a bone cancer, and she was really committed to living. And she was really afraid of using the oil because it was marijuana and she had a very high paying, important job. So there was a lot of stigma on cannabis. And at that time, it wasn't trending like it is now. It was just kind of getting new and people, so she was kind of like, I don't know. And she was dying. And her husband and I made an executive decision she was bleeding in her brain. And this was like the last week of her life. And I talked to him and I said, I have this oil, we're just starting to use it. I don't know if it will do anything, but supposedly it's gonna do these things to her. And one of them is it's gonna stop the bleeding in her brain. So we took a syringe much like this and we just shoved about a quarter of a gram into her mouth and just like rubbed it around the inside of her mouth and her cheeks, so she wasn't swallowing it all, really. So we just got her to saliva it up. And the bleeding in her brain stopped within 24 hours. And she went off the ICU ward and was in the hospital for another week. And then we continued to feed her the oil. And she did die. She did die, but she had a whole nother week. And the fact that her brain stopped bleeding immediately put a level of commitment and fire under me that is not quenched. Because traditional forms of medicine are not working. So I'm committed to this plant because this plant is committed to us. And it's been with us for always and since always. We have always had cannabis in our life as human beings until 1934 with Prohibition. And if we start looking at how sick we have become as a nation, can we bring it back down to Dow Chemicals? Can we bring it back down to that our clothes is now made of cotton and not hemp, and that we don't have hemp seed in our food, that we just have corn? Can we bring it there? I don't know, but it's definitely worth the conversation.